Yes, that was the guitar playing with people from Greece. I think it was the Radio Me. Heraklion, Greece. I think that was a nice tune in a short moment of time that can be in a nice accord. So today is another day, and maybe we can make some time to speak about things that we haven't spoken about before. That would be interesting, what that is. Politics. I talked with my friend yesterday. And we were into politics, the Labour and Christian Party. And he said something very profound. Let me just remind myself what he was saying. He said that he couldn't understand that the Christian Party, he is a Labour man. And we were to talk, and he have his very clear opinion. It's a way to put it. A very clear opinion about more or less everything. But I mostly agree in many ways with him, and even he speaks in a simplistic term. You have this good. He stands for the right stuff, and it's people. I was reminding him of what we did back in those days, that I met with that guy that we met many years ago, Bro Lennart Menzoni. And the thing about him is not that he's a very interesting person, but he was an important person in that position that he held. And he said something that he couldn't understand, how the Christian Party would coincide with I forgot the party. The Progressive Party. He couldn't understand. And also the right wing. He couldn't understand that the Christian Party that have some ground ideas, that is for human rights. He said that profoundly. The Christian Party have ideas that is very important for the humankind. He said that the support for refugee people in need and helping people here in very, as I said in the video before, people will, if they have beside the persons in the parties, the people that leads the party, because the democracy ends with the election. You never know what the political parties, politicians would would land on, decide on when they are in power. They have to be in coalition with this progressive party. They have to be. They have to find a way through progressive, right wing, left, and so much more. So they have to be in a schizophrenic mindset in order to find some common ground on what they are voting for. On which case, what matters it is concerning. And when the politicians are doing this, what can we say? It's a corrupted way. We have this this trading of ideas, trading of and they compromise. That is a good word for that. They compromise with their own standpoint in order to have majority on different cases. And not only that, if I give you the votes for that case, will you vote for me in this case? That kind of trade is typical of the politicians, and that, I would guess, rather to be a small party with decent attitude and decent backbone, than to be in bed, so to say, with parties that go for things that we can't agree on. So that is his objection to the Christian party, that they are in bed with so many political parties that they can't, on the ground level, on moral issues, they can't side with. So I said to him that that is right, and I told this guy, this Bror Leonard Menzoni, when I was talking with him, that the Christian party need as much as the labor to find back to their soul, so they can find out what they could support, because they have the same offspring. I think the labor have the offspring in Christian ideas, because it is human values. As my friend said, it is human values, and it is so much more than petty cases that they can get themselves filthy with different things. So you see, when a party does such a thing, that they sleep with any other party that they can get some support. So next time they get support from them. That is weakening. That is defragmentation. That is smoldering up. That is melting down the moral value of the party. So many people doesn't really like any parties because they are grey. That was his word for that. political parties, they are all grey. And the last thing you want the Christian party to be is grey. Like every color is melted down to one mix. And that is grey. That is what we call grey. When every color is melted down, mixed, intertwined, then even the language becomes unclear. That is the Tower of Babel. The Babel Tower was like a spike of the high culture they had. The Tower of Babel. Maybe I can use that as an example. I think that is a good topic. The Tower of Babel. You see, every political party has some ground rule, some values that they are founded on. And it is very important. Don't misunderstand the concept of very, because this is maybe the ultimate reason why a political party holds itself together. That is the language in the party. The language in the party, when mixed with other type of languages, will be melted down, will be unclear. Like, for example, marriage. Now, this may be I am the only one with that opinion, but I stick to it. As far as I am not convinced of otherwise, I stick with it. Like they want to marry couple that are same gender, same sex, female and female, man and man. They want to marry them. But that is the gender confusion. Now, the Christian party have to agree on the different scales of gender. Because there is only two sex, but multiple, borderless definition of gender. And that is, for me, language that has gone wrong. When they say we are going to marry a couple of men, that is when it's the language is construed. Let me Google that word, construed. That is transformed. That is translated. Construed is translated as far as Google. But what I say that the translation of each and every word is diminishing its own true value. That's why the Jews say that when the Bible was translated from Hebrew to the origin, from the origin to Greek and every other language, because we Gentile, we love King James, which is a construed version of the true Torah. That is, the Torah is the main politics. So every party have its own Torah, so to say. Don't misconstrued. Don't mess up my context here. When the Torah is translated, a lot of information is lost. The value of each and every letter, word, and sentence is lost. It's not lost as we can't understand it, but it is translated in a singular form when it was in a multifaceted form. So the letter could have this meaning, and on a different level it have this meaning. Not that those meanings contradict each other, but many times also it contradicts, because our mind have to be aware of that not only a simple sentence that I can say is the only truth. When I say something, it will backfire on me that I have some close people here that turn on every single word I say. So that is good, because it makes me aware that what my sentence would be when it's translated for each and every person. So this is important. But to a political party, you have a set of goals, you have a set of values that is inscribed in the political party. When we mix it with different other parties, when we coincide with the language that is the order of the day, everything will be confusion. Even the word marriage, that is, in many different languages you have this specifically word that means, a word means different things individually, but it can also have a meaning generally. So when you mix words with other languages, you will be confused with other context. If you mix word like marriage to also regard same-sex, that would be messed up language. The word married will not bear any context. Is it a male? Are you married to a male? Are you married to a female? No, don't go into that, because you are not the one that can define my gender. So that is, every person has some private ownership to different words. That is that I have monopolized the words that I use, and if you offend me by words that it's only me to define, I will put you in jail. That is the ultimate breakdown on society. So when a political party is founded, it is founded on language. That is the ultimate, uttermost importance for a political party. That it is founded on words and how words are put together in that political party. Regarding values, regarding tasks, aims, goals, and so on. It is very important that people get this that when a political party after the election is fused into different political coalitions, that is messing up the whole picture of being a democracy. So we leave it up to the representants to decide what kind of politics it is going to be, which I thought by voting I decided. No. So people are very, very disappointed with the politicians that handle things in a way that you wouldn't even predict would happen. And people that say we have a democracy, it is more or less to the point after the election. It's a pure lie. And many people doesn't really understand that simple fact. It is nothing big to understand. It's nothing complex or nothing intricate to understand. It is just pure, simple fact that after the election you have nothing to say. You can weigh in your opinion on different topics, but you can't decide what the politicians are doing in the decision-making table. I don't know whether it should be like that or not. It obviously have to, but the problem is that the representants can't. They don't have the backbone to stand by the political party's Torah, the language. They are bending over backwards for bribery and nepotism. So if you go for this, will you defend me in the next turn? And so on. That is the rule. And I think they have some friendship. That is why, I think that is why they hide behind their offices, their rooms where they bargain with the values. I think that the Christian party should be the leader in regard of holding the torch of its own values, finding back to the soul of the party's decisions, value, language, and so on. The political party should be a soul-seeking party. The Christian party should be a soul-seeking party that can overcome the Tower of Babel. Because the Tower of Babel is just confusion. And if the parties themselves agree with themselves that we have to stand firm, we will not bend into bribery, nor into nepotism, corruption. It will be a tower of just. Tower of just. And as I said, when the Messiah is coming, he is going to lead the whole world with an iron rod. It's to say, the language is coming back. The just is coming back. Because when political party bend over for nepotism, bribery and corruption, and do the horse deals in their chambers, that is not holding up to their agreement with the party's language. There will be so many unjust happen. And why is it unjust in the system? Why is the system so unjust? For people that end up poor, end up as slaves, they can't afford even a simple treatment because the parties have left their own value. And I wish people would hear this and get the context. That's why people end up in an unjust situation. And he said, rightfully so, the party, right party on the right side, they don't really care for the poor people. They don't really care for people that are in need, as long as they can satisfy the business and the big businessmen that are ruling the world in their benefit. How, my friend? How is that? It's a political speech. I would use those words because the Torah, the language, the Jews say that when Torah was translated, God cried. God let it be dark for many, many days. Yes, because of his sadness, sorrow of that confusion. And I am saddened, not equally saddened, but I am saddened by the political party that have left their own values, their own agendas. They are just talking about them like a liar that tried to get out of jail which they belong to. They should be in jail, in prison, for using wrong, taking advantage of what Torah said. I think that Torah is our mentor, our guideline. And the political party's guideline should be the language that it was founded on. And people that doesn't really understand that may be confused, end up in a confusion, which is today's order. It's all confusion. It's like the Tower of Babel. People are confused by so many things, and things have way more different definitions today than it had just 50 years ago. Now the leftists have confused everything. So we have to find back to the values of the words, values of the sentence, and value of those humans that we are, all of us. The value of a human shouldn't be left into the language, today's language. It should be according to the Torah's language. Okay, bye-bye.